Hello, and welcome to another episode of my YouTube channel. It's a video. So today we're going to be doing a review of a little film that can only really be called Civil War, directed by, let me get it up, Alex Garland, the director of Ex Machina. It's starring Kirsten Dunst. It's starring the guy who played Pablo Escobar in that Narcos series, Nick Offerman, Jesse Plemons, and a whole bunch of people. So, what is this about? This film is about war journalists, basically, the integrity of journalism. It's about the ethics of journalism. It's about what the job is of a journalist. And it's set in a dystopian future. I would almost call it a dystopian present, where North America are in the middle of a civil war. California and Texas, for some reason, have teamed up, and the whole country's in disarray. And there's these group of ragtag journalists who decide to travel to Washington D.C. to try and get photos or an interview with the president. And yeah, I would say it's a really great film. I really, really loved it. Alex Garland is like one of the directors who hit one of the highest of highs with Ex Machina, in my opinion. Like, that is an all-time great sci-fi film. And then he kind of, got a little bit strange with Annihilation, and then a little bit more weird with Men. But now he's making what the adverts made it look like, basically an action war film, but it's really not that. It's a road trip film. It's really about what are the sort of moral obligations of somebody taking photos of war. Like, you've got to stand there and watch people fucking die, and you've got to have a camera sticking in their face trying to take photos, and it's like, hey, that's not very sensitive, don't do that. But on the other hand, it's like, hey, the world needs to know what's happening, so someone needs to record this in some fashion. Like, people deserve to know what is happening on this planet, on this earth, in these places of conflict. But at the same time, you're like, hey, maybe put the camera down and try and help this man who's dying, or help this person who's burning alive, or help this child that's starving. It's a real, it's one of those really strange, sort of moral, ambiguous type of jobs. It's like, I don't know what I would do in a situation. Would I have the cold-heartedness to just be like, well, let me take a photo of this person dying, knowing that me reporting this might cause some kind of public uproar, which might, upscale to people who make big decisions about this type of stuff, which then might, in fact, one day stop this war from happening. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, maybe a photo's worth 1,000 words. I don't know, but it's like, damn, that's such a complicated situation to be in. I don't know how I would react if that was my job. I probably wouldn't be very good. I'd probably get shot being in those. Like, they're running around like armies, like getting shot at, and they're not even wearing helmets. Like, the army are more protected than these photographers who are just sort of running around with their camera. But yeah, strange film. I think a lot of people in the US are a little bit confused by the politics of this film. They're like, hold on, California and Texas wouldn't align together. Obviously, I'm from the UK. I don't really care about that much. And I think Alex Garland wasn't really making a political point. I think he just wanted conversation to happen, really. It's really not about that. You don't ever understand why this war is happening, like what team is the right side or the good side, the left side, whatever. Like, you don't really ever get told this information. You're really just there to follow these journalists and understand what it is that they do and why they do it, what are the ethics of that. And I personally found that in and of itself really interesting. And it's not a huge action film like the trailer suggests. It's definitely got lots of quieter moments, lots of driving around, and then intense moments, loud gunshots. I really love that when when a director can have me in the palm of their hand and be like, okay, so now you're going to enjoy a road trip movie for a while, and then when I say, you're going to feel sort of intense terror when Jesse Plemons comes on and chews the scenery and fucking terrifies the shit out of you with his beautiful acting. He's such a great actor. Obviously, Kirsten Dunst is a really great actress as well. I think they're married, aren't they? But yeah, great act. Their kids are going to be great actors. And what else do I have to say about this film, really? I just think, yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I really loved it. I'm not sure it's my favourite film of the year, but it's a very good film. You know, we've got Dune 2, we've got Monkey Man. Those two are probably at my top at the moment, but yeah, this is probably in third at the moment, and I really, really enjoyed it, and I think I would recommend it to people. Don't go in there thinking you're going to get a really interesting commentary about the state of politics today, because it's not about that at all. It's about photography, war journalism, and ethics, and yeah, it's really chilling. I feel like the gunshots sounded way more real than they do in other movies. Movies. It's nice to sit down and watch a film and not be preached at about what is the correct politics to believe in.